Hello, I'm Jeff Cummings, Director of the Cleveland Clinic Ruvo Center for Brain Health. At the Center for Brain Health, we take care of patients with Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and multiple sclerosis. We conduct research and perform clinical trials to try to find new treatments for patients with these brain diseases. A critical aspect of our care is to work with caregivers. This series of videos introduces you to aspects of caregiving, including how to take care of yourself.
Activities are an essential part of our lives. They provide a sense of purpose and meaning. Every day, we participate in many different types of activities, including personal care tasks, household chores, leisure pursuits, and others that fulfill our obligations and responsibilities.
For an individual diagnosed with Alzheimer's, activities continue to be an important part of their lives. A daily routine provides helpful structure for someone with Alzheimer's. The opportunity to engage in productive or enjoyable activities can give purpose and a sense of accomplishment and reduce feelings of boredom, loneliness, and sadness.
One of the things we discovered, we go to the store, it's a 24-hour store, so now we get up at 5 o'clock anyway, so we just go to the grocery store. So we've kind of solved that situation. So there are ways to get around a lot of what's going on.
The challenge for caregivers is to understand how Alzheimer's affects an individual's ability to carry out activities and identify ways to offer support. The level and type of assistance will change over the course of the illness, sometimes from day to day.
Individuals may not perceive that anything has changed. Others may recognize that something is not right. Reactions can range from trying to cover up difficulties, refusing to accept help, and withdrawing from favorite activities. The person may seem apathetic, angry, or deliberately difficult. This can cause a lot of stress for everyone.
As the disease progresses, increasing amounts of assistance will be needed, even with the most basic tasks. Certain behaviors common with Alzheimer's, such as paranoia and agitation, can make the completion of activities even more challenging. It can be difficult to know exactly how much assistance to give and when, especially as the ability to communicate decreases.
There are some general tips and strategies that can be helpful. One of the most helpful things caregivers can do is to keep things simple. Complex activities can be broken down into smaller, more manageable steps. For example, in the early stages of the disease, someone would be able to take a bath if reminded to do so, and everything he or she needs is set out. As the disease progresses, a caregiver may assist a loved one with brushing teeth by getting the toothbrush ready, directing the person where to place the toothbrush, and offering encouragement. Regardless of the task, always focus on trying to use a calm, positive tone of voice.
Sometimes, despite your best efforts, completing activities can be a challenge. Look for situations or words that may trigger an unwanted or negative response. Think about whether the task is too complex, if it's generally a good time of day, if there are too many distractions, or you're feeling rushed or stressed.
You may be able to identify patterns that can help avoid or minimize disruptions. For example, if your loved one doesn't seem hungry in the evening, serve the dinner meal at lunchtime. Or have several pairs of the same pants and shirts to eliminate problems with matching or changing clothes.
It can be especially difficult when problems arise with essential activities such as taking medications, going to the doctor, or sleeping. These situations often require a willingness to try a broad range of approaches, learning from previous experiences and lots of patience. Ask your physician, a nurse, or social worker for guidance. Check out a book on Alzheimer's or attend a support group to learn more about what has worked for others in similar circumstances.
Sometimes exercise early in the day can moderate behaviors and promote better sleep at night. Increased confusion, anxiety, or agitation can occur during the transition to evening, a phenomenon known as sundowning. We don't know the exact cause of sundowning, but there are ways to help cope with it. Try closing the blinds and turning on lots of light. Maintain a calm environment and keep challenging activities to a minimum.
When planning activities, consider what the person is able to do and modify activities accordingly. With all activities, the primary focus is on enjoying the process rather than successfully completing the task. Offer encouragement and praise to recognize what the person is able to accomplish.
Take into account the time of day that is best for your loved one. For example, if you meet with resistance when suggesting a bath in the morning, try after lunch. If you continue to meet resistance after several attempts, take a break and try again at a later time. Consider the environment where activities are taking place. Is it safe, welcoming, and free from distractions such as noise or clutter? As a caregiver, you can provide support by being flexible, patient, and encouraging. Wherever possible, consider the preferences of your loved one and look for ways to make activities enjoyable and fun.
There are important safety considerations when caring for a loved one with Alzheimer's. Look for potentially hazardous items and evaluate the specific risks for your loved one. There is a high probability of wandering over the course of the disease. Check for ways to minimize the chance of a loved one wandering away from home, such as installing additional locks or a chime that rings when a door is open. Create a plan of action to follow in case your loved one becomes lost.
Driving is a serious concern for individuals diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. Confusion, poor judgment, and agitation behind the wheel are not uncommon and can occur even in the early stages of the disease. Work with your doctor, the Department of Motor Vehicles, or an expert who can evaluate driving skills to assess your loved one's ability to drive safely.
Safety must be a primary concern, not just for the Alzheimer's patient, but also for the caregiver. When your loved one can no longer handle daily activities or make important decisions, make accommodations that still allow them some involvement whenever possible. It's helpful to have a support network that you can call on, be it friends, family, or community resources. The job of caregiver can be an isolating one. Don't be afraid to ask for help during this difficult time.
Sometimes I think it'd be easier to take care of someone who you didn't love. You know, when you care for your loved one, it's definitely harder.